everybody, another night, another movie, and I just got done watching 1977's The Kentucky Fried Movie, an anthology of sketches featuring stars like Henry Gibson, George Lazenby, Donald Sutherland, Bill Bixby and Tony Dow. This is one of those ones that I remember seeing it on TV, and it took a while for it to come out on DVD, and as soon as it did, I think I had it pre-ordered. But I haven't seen it for quite a few years. But it's written by the Zucker Abrahams and Zucker, the guys behind greats like Airplane and The Naked Gun, and it's directed by John Landis. And like I say, it's this anthology of really silly and irreverent sketches that, you know, kind of done in it, you know, parodies of movie adverts and all those kind of little bits you get when you go to the cinema, or certainly when you used to go to the cinema, where you would have those adverts for really silly things like headache pills or sleeping pills, but then you would have those spliced between you know, these movie feature pieces, and then you would have those little, you know, cartoons or something before the main feature and stuff. So it's presented like that with a couple of little kind of news feature bits thrown in, spliced in between. The thing is I mean, we have it now where you'll have like the main movie trailers, but then you'll have like an advert for Maltesers or something. It's like, okay, fine. I don't get that sometimes. It's just like, I'm not here to watch adverts for Aviva car insurance or whatever it is, you know. But no, this is one of those things that, much like Airplane and Naked Gun, and I think the guys went on to do Scary Movie 3 or 4 or something like that. It, you know, it takes everything, it does literal interpretations of things that are said. You know, I can't think of an example, my mind's gone blank. But the main sketches that have always stood out in my memory, you know, even if I don't watch it for any length of time, the main sketches that have always stood out in my head are the United Appeal for the Dead, where Henry Gibson is telling the story of, you know, death is the main cause of, you know, the dead in America and the world today, and the main signs of death are rigor mortis, a bad smell, occasional drowsiness, and I'm just sat there and it still cracks me up. There's Sex Record, where you got these two people, you know, clearly young, not so much, probably virgins or something. They're listening to this record with this guy, you know, talking over the top, telling them what to do and stuff, and then you've got this big guy coming, you know, the guy has, you know, premature ejaculation, and it's like, if that should happen, this record comes with Big Jim Slade, and this big muscular guy in this, like, thong comes in with this big afro and carries the woman off. There's, of course, the main feature, Fistful of Yen, which is so silly, and it's so distracting because Klan, the main baddie in it, I'm pretty sure played by somebody called Bong Soo-han, or I could be, I apologise if I've completely mispronounced that name. I'm just trying to remember it off the top of my head. It kind of reminds me of Patrick Duffy, and I'm really distracted by that. I mean, that is it's a brilliant parody of those kind of really cheesy kung fu movies. Although I will say some of the training scenes totally took me back to doing Taekwondo, Although some of the people doing the squat punches are completely not doing it right, but whatever. But it's a brilliant take on, you know, those kind of really cheesy martial arts movies and stuff. And as somebody who's not a big fan of a lot of those, it's a really enjoyable take. And of course there's That's Armageddon, which is a complete, again, parody of, much like Airplane is, it's a complete over-the-top parody, you know, of stuff like Tower Inferno and Earthquake, and as somebody who loves the Tower Inferno, it just makes you laugh your arse off. So yeah, this is a really silly, even though it's what, nearly 40 years old, I still find it funny. It is not for the politically correct people. There's this one scene where this guy, was it the name of the segment, I think is Danger Hunters or something? And this guy straps on this helmet and that, and he goes into this group of coloured people and just screams out the N-word and then runs off. And during the Fistful of Yen segment, this guy comes, hey, you slanty-eyed yellow, this and the other. So anybody who has, like, serious political correctness issues, this might not be for you. Also, if you don't like kind of juvenile toilet humour, or that kind of frat boy humour, this definitely won't be up your interest. But if you like stuff like Airplane and anything else these guys have done, if you like stuff like Monty Python or Saturday Night Live, this is really gonna, I think this will get you, because as with something like Monty Python, some of the sketches work, some of them don't. For the most part they mainly work, but there are those odd ones where you're just like, okay, fine. And I don't know if that's a time dependent, you know, for the era, or what, or maybe it's just that thing that if you don't remember, if you weren't around when this kind of stuff, you know, how they used to air these in cinemas, this is just slightly before my time, but I'm aware of it because of, you know, how it was then represented on TV and stuff like that. But no, it's a good laugh. It's so silly. It's not intelligent. It's not deep. And like I say, it is just literal interpretations of some of the stuff that's said. But it's a good fun watch. And like I say, if you like stuff like Airplane and that, this is really going to hold you. I'd give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not constantly funny because it's an anthology of skits. You know, there's no characters I like to get into. That's not the point of it. Don't go into it if you think you're going to find a character that runs through the whole thing, except for the guy who does the I'm not wearing any pants, news at 11, you know, every now and then. He's probably the only running gag for it, but it's just pure an hour and 25 minutes of silliness, and I do recommend it just if you want to kill time, or I've been feeling down this week and it's kind of helped pick me up. So if you just want a good silly movie, then it's definitely worth it. That's 1977's The Kentucky Fried Movie. That was tonight's movie. We'll be back again tomorrow. But for now, this is Sketch, signing out.